What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kosher, and you are now listening to From the East Side with Love. Literally, just got back from watching Superman. Had to hit this video, had to do a review for you guys. DC's back. I will say it. DC's back. I think they're in good hands with James Gunn. I believe that this movie is a blockbuster movie. I think if you can watch Jurassic World Rebirth, you can watch this. I had a very unique experience because I I was in the 4DX experience theater. Not sure if you guys know what that is, but if you not know what it is, I'd love to explain it. The 4DX theater is just imagine around you a ride. Okay, literally the seats move when air, I should say, air comes out of the back of people's seats in front of you. Even water will squirt, pause in front of you. Um, I want to say simulation, like snow, soap flakes will come out of the side of the theater. And the seats, I mean, it literally, it's like a computer, right? Where the seats are literally tilting forward, tilting to the side, back and forth, side to side, tipping off full fold. Yeah, it was like that. It was an experience, and yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. The seats are kind of hard. Pause. Can hurt your butt. Pause. Um, Definitely if you're eating food or drinking, it can. There's a lot of jolt. That's something to be weary of. But it was cool. It was definitely not something that I would go to often, but it was good to experience it at least once. If they had a better seats, um, maybe I would do it again. I, I I'm not opposed to doing it again. Now that I know what it's about, but it has to be the right movie. Superman, I would say was fitting. I thought the movie was good. Uh, I thought that this was a cool the reboot, the initial start of the new DC universe franchise. I thought it was a great intro. If you're familiar with Man of Steel, whole different vibe. The movie was lighthearted. It was fun. It was unique. Something that we haven't seen before. A very strong Lex Luthor. Um, I think this guy David Corenswet, Corenswet. See if I can look him up. Corenswet. I think that he, as our Superman, I think that he did well. He's 6'4", 32 years old. I think he did well. Doesn't make you forget about Henry Cavill, but I think it makes you're okay with this. I thought Henry Cavill embodied the look of Superman. I think a lot of fans do. I think I've heard a lot of heartache. Um, and for everything that Zack Snyder got wrong, Henry Cavill wasn't one of them. And even himself, the actor himself, I think really poured his heart out playing it. But that's not this review is not about that. It's a new age, new God, new era. It's David's turn. And yeah, I think he did well. I think he held it down. Um, I think that let's see. Hold on, hold on. This right here is like sleeping they're not showing the age or they're not showing his height. I'm curious. You can't use it for. Um, yeah, I think that I think the movie I think the movie is gonna do well. I do think out of the last several comic book movies we see had the strongest run. Obviously the Batman and what's him in the same universe, but still a new different spin-off reboot that, a lot of people like that, especially like Gen Zers and newcomers, or new younger crowd. I do believe that um, James Gunn found the right balance. I feel like even this movie was his best movie, comic book wise. Whether we look at all the big Guardians of the Galaxy, we have three of them. Whether we look at Suicide Squad, the second one, I feel like this Superman is head and shoulders above all of them. And I actually like the Guardians of the Galaxy for what it is. I thought the third one was good. Was the best, I would say. I think Suicide Squad 2 is a good movie as well, or a decent movie. But this Superman movie, sure, it's just it's better. Um, I think that this guy Nicholas Holt, he plays a good Lex Luthor. I feel like this is the Lex Luthor you want to see. I I guess there's gonna be some spoilers. Sorry, guys. I wish he would get captured. I wish he wasn't retained. At least I would say. I feel like the end of time for Lex Luthor gets retained, but I more so would want. I just wish that his ambition and what he does, like he kind of like the man pulling the strings. Like he's a bad guy, but I don't want the world and public perception of him to be a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a time and place for that. And yes, my wife thinks all over. She did say like all these events. This was like 3 years or however many years of events that led up to this point, trying to get exposed, but still, if there's going to be several movies, I wish he wasn't retained in the first movie for this to be that one. Uh, just I think who stole the show is the dog. Dang, I put on a dog there. Maybe that's the most real good Superman dog. I don't even know why that's dog. Krypto. I was like, it's Krypto. I don't know why. But I thought he stole the show. I think it was cool to see that. Uh, and the Bond, he's a terrier. Uh, I thought it was an interesting switch up with the dog. So in the move, like in the end, Supergirl comes out, and it's like he just the foster child with the dog watching, but it's actually not the dog in this rendition. This rendition of Superman. It's because it's Supergirl. Now there was some controversy. Lex Luthor's leaked script, Superman's parents' message to Superman saying, "Hey, like, you're a good kid. We sent you to Earth to have a full life, blah blah blah, and then save you." And then like it kind of gets corrupted, and then Superman basically fills in the rest. But Lex Luthor had somebody to engineer. I believe he called her, able to transcribe the rest and restore the rest. And basically, it was like a bunch of like dominate these people, move over them. You're that guy that gets shot. And it basically was like people were like, see, like this is why we can't trust Superman. Hey, he tells us stuff online of people we can't stop, can't touch. Uh, we need to detain him. Like we need to be uh, that was pretty foreign to me. I didn't like that. And I wasn't familiar with any of that. I kind of looked it up, and that is not what Superman fans were about. So I think James Gunn took liberty on their own to kind of switch up things. Um, and they said it was authentic. So that kind of sucks to see what may happen in the future. But I like how Superman was like, well, my parents, on the campus, and you see that at the end, how to come to grip with that, and how to was that. Um, you have Green Lantern in there. Yeah, Pop Girl. Yeah, Mr. Terrific. I think Mr. Terrific had a lot of good scenes. I think the Lois Lane, Clark Kent relationship is interesting because you only get to see brief, and this is something else about Superman. You really only get to see a brief Clark Kent. If you see, I would say 10% Clark Kent, 90% Superman. Uh, and I found that interesting. Like he doesn't turn it off, if that makes sense. Um, like he never takes any breaks. So that was interesting. I think the Green Lantern and Hawk Girl and Mercy Terrific Justice Gang was an interesting touch to the movie. Uh, Definitely interesting in how they further develop that relationship. Love to see how they use Supergirl, but you know, I know you guys are waiting to figure out what do I rate this movie. Um, I'm gonna, I have, I'm, I like it. I think it's 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, 96 on Fandango. Yeah, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a strong movie. I think that it's something to easily build upon. Uh, I believe the Superman character himself is something you can rally behind. I believe that the chemistry in the movie was good. I also believe that it was refreshing. Going back to the experience of the 4DX, it enhanced the movie, and I would say it would be cool for other theaters to have more of a similar. I guess I wouldn't say all the antics of like the wind or whatever, but I do think more rumbles. I know some theaters have like a rumble feature, uh, where there's big damage, big. I think that makes it more impactful, and I feel like it did help the Superman movie. Um, but I also do think like the scenes and if you don't know what you're getting yourself, it could be a little bit overwhelming. But that's not the movie stuff. That's just that that particular work. I do think that James Gunn, the movie was a little long, but I do think because I feel like fans have been competed off of like really strong Superman character with so much promise. Like this has promise, and I think that's what makes it dope. Not that Henry Cavill, like we know Henry Cavill has promise, like James Man as well has promise, but it's it's almost like we got to see things that you don't normally see. You got to see Superman flex. What I mean by that, you got to use Slade and you got to use Ice Bruh, Super Strength. Like you got to actually see him be who he is. And And it's refreshing to see that because we, our DC season, it's a lot of Batman. Batman centric, Batman dominated. Um, and Superman gets kind of squeezed out. Uh, so I think that if you did see Justice League, you got to see a strong Superman. I know by then a lot of people are turned off. So it's been a long time coming in between seeing this franchise actually have the face that you knew was going to represent it. But then, even though Henry Cavill was a good Superman in the last franchise, you weren't sure. There's a lot of drama and just a lot of red tape or whatever. So with the Rock trying to bring him back and all that. So it's just him. Uh, so I think that this again a lot of problems. I think this and the best movie by far. I think it was a fun movie to watch. I think that'll be a better movie than Fantastic Four. I know Fantastic Four is coming, and it's we're gonna see. We're gonna see it. There's four characters in Fantastic Four. There's only one Superman. Yes, he had a crew or whatever, but it's just Superman. So, um, yeah, I will say that we saw Jurassic World earlier. About Superman. I thought it was Fantastic Four. I will say out of the three movies, Superman would be the best movie. Jurassic World was cool in its own world, but I don't think it was a solid move. I didn't care for it, but it wasn't bad. I will give it like a 7.5, 7.5. I think this is 8.5. I'll probably I don't want to rate Fantastic Four because I haven't seen it, but I don't think it'll be higher than 8.5 unless Marvel figures it out. But then it's a good better. Uh, the post credit scenes don't really give me too much of the future in Superman, so that was kind of a letdown. But I still think it's a promising future. Don't know what's next as far as who's the next movie, like live action movie that I'm going to get. I have to do my research on that. But yeah, I give it an 8.5. I think it's a very strong showing. I think you can hang your hat on this kid David, on the guy David. I think it's just he's a captain now. We don't have to die by him. And I would be interested who they pair up at. They're gonna be Batman. So I'm gonna know how they're gonna be Batman. That's it. I do believe he played well anytime him and Lex were on the. I do like their interaction with Lex and him. Like I feel like they made Lex a very good character. Uh, and I like Lex. I like how they beat Lex. I think Lex was very savvy and cunning, and the opposite of what you saw the last live action. We saw looking up Batman vs Superman. We don't talk about that. But uh, yeah, that was like that Lex Luthor, the Thunder, the Sun, or whatever. That depiction was not good. This Lex Luthor was a really good Lex Luthor, and you you see why you see the essence of the cartoon and the comics of Lex Luthor portrayal in this live action. That's all you can ask. And when Superman's talking to Lex, you can feel both sides. You can feel the Lex Luthor side, you can feel the Superman side. That's all I can ask for, man. And I believe Lex Luthor does it. So I'm pleased with that. Not gonna take up too much more of your time, but definitely recommend watching this movie. I do believe it will be the biggest blockbuster movie. There's F1, Jurassic World, Superman. I am definitely uh interested to hear the first, box office opening weekend numbers. And I'm also interested to see if they will be able to hold on to number one with Jurassic World, or if it will be number one with Jurassic World, F1, and Pit Festival. Like how long, if it's going to be on how long it last, that would knock off Jurassic World. Like I'm interested in all that. Pit Festival is coming. Um, do we, back in the day, like a Marvel movie came out, so they were dominant. They were on top for like months at a time. Now, at least you could have, if you had any meaningful movie, you would have booked around month after because they were stop. So this was interesting that Marvel was like, yeah, we're gonna go 2 weeks after you. Obviously it's a different landscape now. So yeah, I'm curious to know what y'all think. Y'all think y'all thoughts. You be Superman. Was it a good movie? Are you happy with the reboot? Are you happy with James Gunn? How do you feel about the dialogue or the square? They thought the script was strong. Uh, but yeah, if you guys ever have a chance to see a 4DX theater or any theater that has that simulation, that motion ride simulation, we'll definitely try it. I would definitely say you should eat the food before or after the movie. Uh, because when those scenes happen and it's like rumbling and tumbling, it can get real herky jerky and it's pretty chaotic. I'm not gonna hold you. And you're not even strapped in. You don't even have a seatbelt. So, but definitely for a new thing that this is a movie you could see for that experience. Fantastic Four might be another movie for you to help. Jurassic World. Oh, Cricket F1 might have been a great movie too. Racing simulations. That could have been a cool movie to see in those type of environments. Uh, but yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Uh, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and please hit me up. Kosher at Kosher at the FTESWL, all that. Please start with love underscore means word. On TikTok, Kosher at the FTESWL, please start with love 562. Again, everybody, hope you have a great weekend. Stay blessed, stay positive. Be out. Peace.